Hello, friends, and welcome to the next live stream. I'm so happy that you are here and joined me for a few minutes talking about roses, about rose inspiration, and about something that we love so much. So, for those who don't know me, I am Sonia, and I'm a passionate rose gardener. And you have just seen the rose garden that I've created here in Germany. And I really do not have enough of roses. I try to add new varieties every year, even as I have more than 200 roses already planted in this garden. And I simply, have to add new roses. So it's February now. I hope that you are well where you are. We had even a snowstorm here. But for me, as a rose lover, the season is starting already. I think that it's already it started because I started to plan the beds and just thinking of roses that inspired me in the past year. That I just thought, well, I may have a look if I can find a place for this rose in my garden. So if you have any rose that you have in your garden as well, just leave it in the comments so that we can speak about it. Maybe I will find even footage about that. But for today, I want simply to speak about roses that inspired me past year. I used to buy roses that bloom as long as possible because I'm a very practical person. When I go to work, I do not have throughout the week to take care of them that much. And honestly, I like the roses that they repeat bloom really good so that I have as much bloom as possible throughout the whole year. So to get the inspiration and see how the roses repeat bloom, I turn back to the rose gardens and to the breeders and just have a look later in August or in September just to see the roses in real. So let me speak about some of them that I've seen at Rosenpark Dräger past year and that really repeated bloom very nicely and that somehow inspired me. Most of them I would probably buy if I would have time, or not time, but space in my garden. So let me start with the first one. Give me a second. How are you doing, actually? So I am here in a second. So, and here we are. So the first rose I wanted to show you is Pomponella. This rose inspired me really with the huge amount of bloom late September that it still had. And if you have a look, this rose has the color of the clusters that it has as flowers is beautiful, just a coral pink. And I liked it a lot. And the funny stuff that I've seen this rose, on this rose, is it caught my attention not just only as here, a standard rose, but also in a bed. And it grows something around 1 meter, I would say a little bit higher in the second flush, but it simply looks beautiful. Here, this is actually the standard rose, how it looks like, a little bit from further. But here is the rose, the Pomponella, in the middle of the show garden, and it looked really stunning. And if you have actually roses yourself, you know that later in the season, a lot of the blooms do not look that good. Usually you have to deadhead. Some of the roses may not repeat bloom or may not make it until the first frost and bad weather in autumn. But this rose, late September, looked really gorgeous. And if I had a look a little bit closer, the bloom looked simply stunning. The only issue is that the rose is a little bit bigger for my garden, so I'm not quite sure whether I will be able to have it. But just for you who like roses and have the space, this rose simply is absolutely beautiful. If you like roses that are a little bit smaller, but you still like the purple color and just want to place them in your garden, then you may like the next rose that I will show you. This is actually a rose that is just a small shrub rose, and the color is amazing. And I think that I may add this one to my potted garden because it can be grown in a pot as a small shrub, and it will perfectly match all the other colors in my garden, like the white, pink, red, and just purple. And the name of this rose is even Purple Rain. Do you actually like roses that are small or big? I would like to know if you have it or could put it in the comment. It would be just very interesting. But back to the Purple Lane. So when you see this rose here in May, it simply was so beautiful that I thought I have to buy it. But at that point of time, I was actually not looking for a small rose. I was looking for a rose for a wall. So I could not take it with me. But in May, and then now have a look how this wonderful rose looked late September, still full of bloom here in the middle of the rose bed. On both sides are other roses, but here is the wonderful bloom in late September. And I really like to go through my garden in every season and every time, just to see what's new in there. And even now, when the roses are dormant, I simply stroll through the garden and watch after the first signs of spring, like the snowdrops or winter aconites that are already coming in my garden as well. How about you? Do you have also just the first flower in your garden? So there is another rose that I wanted to show you today, and this is Gärtnerfreude. It is a rose that actually I am I'm going or finding again and again because of the color that it has. It has wonderful raspberry blue, raspberry red color, and it's called Gärtnerfreude. In late September, look how beautiful the bloom still was. And I think that because of the bloom, and it's just, I have to look every time when I see this rose somewhere on display, it's just attracting me as a bee just to watch it. So this rose is really beautiful, but I already have it in my garden in a bed and as a standard rose. For those who want to plant this rose, there was one issue that I was really not knowing when I bought the rose. And this is that the rose is really spreading around. It's a ground covering rose. So if you do not have the space for the rose, it may be an issue because it's hard to keep it upwards as a shrub. It's really just laying down, and you can pretty well see it here on the picture, just how it looks like when it's on the ground, covering everything that you could see. So there were the small roses that attracted me and inspired me in the past already. But there are also other roses, and a lot of you love them. There are David Austin roses. What is so interesting on them is that the David Austin roses bloom pretty early in the season. And even in my garden, they bloom late May, beginning of June already, in the front yard where I have them in a quite sunny space. But they are really early blooming roses, and you even have to cut them a little bit earlier or as first in your garden when the time comes because of this. So I went to the Rosenpark Dräger just to see how these roses repeat bloom and perform in September. And one of them that I want to show you is from different color palette that I have in my own garden. It's yellow rose. Do you actually have yellow roses? Are you one of the people who like yellow roses? Just let me know. But before that, I will show you the Poet's Wife. Poet's Wife is wonderful yellow rose of David Austin and has wonderful fragrance. And here, late September, it looks still absolutely stunning. So that you want really to smell the fragrance and bend over this rose as it was. It grows a little bit higher. The roses of David Austin are usually a little bit bigger shrubs, 120, 150 centimeter, but it repeats bloom absolutely, just reliably. So the next rose that I want to share with you today was rose that inspired me in May and inspired me late September. But unfortunately, it was sold out. So I was not able to add this rose to my collection. But it's also a David Austin rose. And I show you the rose in May when it caught first my attention and in September. And this rose is called Darcy Basil. It has such a wonderful purple color. And I simply love this color. And it perfectly suits to the combination of colors if you want to do something similar as I do in your garden. So to white, pink, soft pale roses, this rose look absolutely stunning as an eye catcher. And this is the May, how it looked in May in the rose bed, and this was late September. There were not that many bloom on the small shrub that it had, but still the color was beautiful. And from my perspective, if a rose repeat blooms several times throughout the season, it's fully acceptable that the last bloom is not that vigor, but still looks beautiful. And I really like this rose. We'll have to search where to get it. So we've spoken about roses that are in bed, standard roses, some of them, small ones, and shrub roses. And there was a rose, again, that caught my attention. This is the last one of today that I want to show you. And this was a rose called Pilgrim. It is here on an arch, and it is absolutely beautiful and has absolutely beautiful color. What I did not know in the past that this rose actually blooms even at the bottom of the rose. So it looks really stunning, like you here see the whole arch, but again, also the roses in an eye level, even on the ground level. And I actually like this rose and even once already bought it because of the wonderful yellow color it has. And I like roses that change color and pale a little bit when they mature. And this rose, you can see it here very well on this picture, has wonderful, very fragrant lemon yellow bloom that pales on the sides into white. And in the past, I was already once just strolling through the gardens and wanted to get and have this rose. But unfortunately, it is a climbing rose and you need space for it. So just buy it because of the fragrance would not make that much sense for my garden. But if you are more into the yellow roses, you may consider this rose as well, because it's simply so beautiful and can join your other roses in your garden. I can pretty well just imagine this rose with other white roses and kind of just purple color, sage or something like that, because it would really make it even softer and the color more elegant, not more elegant, it is elegant, but simply timeless. But this is the different structure and different colors than I have in my garden, so I do not have that many yellow roses, only very, very few ones that are more of a white yellow roses than the yellow ones. So that would be it. And oh, Miss Rosie Lady, I love the pink pilgrim too. Nice to have you here. And thank you for commenting it. It is so nice. I love the pilgrim too. Yeah, you know, I really would like to have bigger garden. One day I hope that I have one where I can plant more roses and have just like maybe sections of different colors. But if you have small garden, it's always good to have just three colors, three main colors in it, and then not to mix too much. Otherwise, it may look too much. It's much nicer and more better harmony and balance if you use just three colors. And for me, it's just the red, purple, pink, white color is neutral. You can always use white color roses in your garden, and then create this beautiful harmony as you want to have it. I have two, one with white roses and one with yellow and apricot roses. White roses and yellow apricot roses, honestly, this must be beautiful. Apricot roses, this is exactly what I've spoken, just yellow, apricot, white, probably a little bit purple if you just on the ground, the perennials, but it must be beautiful. Kind of very elegant, somehow, well, not nostalgic, a little bit different to my rose garden, but I just see it. Somehow it reminds me of wedding. Sorry to say it, but wedding with such a timeless elegance, yeah. And I can imagine how beautiful it is. Oh, I would love to explore that too. The colors in your garden all go very well together. That's one of the reasons I like it. Thank you. But I would really like to see also how your yellow, orange, and white roses go together. Because especially if you have the David Austin roses, And sometimes even if you have the catalog and see how they put the roses together, just simply see white and yellow and orangey roses next to each other. It's simply beautiful. So next to the white pilgrim, no, yellow pilgrim, and the white ones. Which one is the other rose that you have, the orangey one that you would recommend to the others? So it would be great just if you could share it. I'm quite sure that the others are also very interested about the apricot roses. Just drink some coffee for the moment. Oh man, I just realized that I forgot to put the microphone on it. So I hope that today the live stream that you can hear me properly. So it's just only the Mac broadcast. Sorry for that. I hope that everything is still understandable and you can hear me well. So, are there any other questions that you may have? I have a beautiful climber called the Impressionist, which is yellow and orangey apricot. I've never heard about the Impressionists, and be sure that I will search directly after the live stream just to have a look at it. And do you know, is it Impressionist? Who was the breeder, or who is the breeder? Is it someone Europe or US or even Australian breeder? It's, yeah, I've never heard about that. Also a pale yellow rose called Buff Beauty and a modern small climber called Tangerine Skies. Tangerine Skies. Wow, I have to search all these roses on internet. Where are you from? Because they're so, the names I've never heard here in Germany. So it's always sometimes great to see if someone comments from his country, his beautiful rose that may not be known here in Europe, just to share the impressions. And I know that there was someone who commented in the lila and lavender roses and made a comment about rose that is known in Australia. And I really liked the color of the rose. It's just to have a look how to get this rose. It's sometimes the issue from another country. But I think that it's great just to exchange the experiences that we have with our roses, with roses that are, I mean, David Austin are very well known, but all the other roses may not be that known, but may be still beautiful and very much worth trying and planting. The Impressionist was bred by the owner of Heirloom Roses in Oregon, John Clements, I think was his name. Oh, so US. I know Heirloom. I look look up their videos as well. Beautiful roses they have. My garden is, and you are in Seattle. Wonderful. So totally different garden you have. And it is somehow so nice to have you here and to speak to someone who is in US and loves roses as well. So our passion is not just only timeless, but I think also borderless, and it's just great. So I hope that you are doing well as well. Not quite sure how the weather is now in Seattle. for us here in Germany, as I said, we had a little bit of snowstorm in the middle of the week, but everything is gone by now, and I could even work a little bit in the garden today in the afternoon. And what I did was something absolutely necessary to do this weekend, just to clean up the bird houses, just to make them come again and help me with the rose pest, with the green fly next season. I have all my warm-colored roses grouped together. My garden is very large, 25 acres, so I can separate the colors. This is absolutely amazing. You are such a lucky one. You know my garden by now, and it isn't really very small. And I have to spare each and every quadrat meter just to put roses there when there is at least a little bit sun. So this is just a dream. If you have a picture of it, I would love to see it. Maybe you would be willing to post it in the community post just for the others as well, just to see it, how it looks like. But it's just only if you want. But my God, how many roses have you planted in your garden? It must be, for this size of a garden, really, really much. And I can very much imagine that you have a lot of roses. And the separation, I really like the separation of the colors. I used to watch a lot just series on English gardening, about English gardening, and a lot of old historic places with old gardens. And when I just hear about separating the colors, it definitely reminds me of this wonderful series where in the past the royal owners just separated different parts of the garden, just like white garden where they had mostly white roses, but also white colored perennials, and then blue garden and all these different theme garden that they had. And I know that I watched it and I was so impressed by what they've achieved there. It has been a very mild winter here so far. We have not had even one hard frost yet. This is good. This is really good. I'm a little bit scared because we had few days here frost, -10. And I hope that all the roses will survive. Most of them I've covered for sure. I covered the standard roses into the fleece, so I hope that they will survive. But you never know if there is something that may happen to them. But -10 is even here, or was already for a few days. But for you in Seattle, good weather you have. Do you have to protect your Rosie from the cold in winter? Yeah, oh yeah, this is something that I just answered. Yeah, I try to cover the base of the rose where there is the grafting point with earth. I usually buy new bloom rosy earth for this, because I do not have that much spare earth around the roses if they are planting so near to each other. So I simply buy new one, clean the space, put it on it. And the standard roses I cover with fleece, the heads of it, so that the frost will not damage the grafting point. So I do it for all the standard roses like this. I know that the breeders in the gardens, they cover even the climbing roses into the fleece. And in areas where the cold is much deeper, they do it as well, and I would recommend as well. But for me, so far, they simply they were not damaged by the -10. I think that I've searched what kind of zone in the US terms we are here in Germany, and I think it was 8B zone. So we have here the temperatures like -10 is pretty much already for us here this year. And in the summer, we have something up to 35 plus Celsius. So yeah, I hope that they will survive. And yeah, considering how warm it was today, +8 degrees, I really truly believe that the frost is over and we will soon simply enjoy the next step in the garden. What part of Germany do you live in? Oh, I live here near Frankfurt. Frankfurt is middle of Germany. It's the state is Hessen, and it's really just in the middle between Hamburg and Munich, and between east and west. Yeah, so middle. And a lot of people know Frankfurt either for the financial industry that is here or for the very, very big airport that we have. And a lot of people use it to travel throughout Europe or into the Europe, just come here and fly to the next destination. So do you have any other question? No other question? Then I thank you very much to all of you that you joined me today. I thank you very much, Miss Rosie Lady, that you joined me, and I really very much enjoyed today to speak to you, to someone who is so far away from here, but still on the same level, and enjoy and loves roses as I do. It was a pleasure today in the evening. And with that, I hope that we will start to really plant roses very soon, all of us. And I see you in the next video. Thank you very much for joining me. And with that, I see you next time.